interesting story because, like I said, I wouldn't have put MJF there anyway. Like aesthetically, I'm sure we've all been thinking, well, they're gonna add another black guy, and excuse me, MJF isn't that. MJF isn't another black guy. So, but there are other black guys on the roster that they could add. Two come to mind for me. I did want Ricochet in there. I did say Ricochet early. I think Ricochet has somewhat developed himself as a character on the show. You put Ricochet in the Hurt Syndicate tomorrow, I won't be sad. I will not be sad. I will not complain. I think it'll still be a great move for him and great move for the group. However, I think Ricochet's been waiting all of his life to play a role like he is playing right now. So just while he's in his groove, while he's doing a good job, I say you probably just leave him to continue as opposed to putting him into Hurt Syndicate. There are things that Hurt Syndicate can do to kind of help push him further forward, you know, be that kind of heel faction around him, and then he goes on to cheat and win a title or something like that, you know, just the basic tropes. I think there is, you know, value in doing stuff like that, but like they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And right now, bro's on the run of his life, like from character standpoint, and that's what we're talking about, because, you know, we've been knowing that Ricochet is one of the greatest wrestlers. This isn't news, but it's from a character standpoint, he's doing some of the strongest stuff of his career and probably some of the strongest character work on AEW TV currently that we're getting from the current roster on a week-to-week basis now. He is one of the people that are right up there. So yeah, I'm tempted to leave Ricochet where he is. That leaves my other two options, who have always been my two options. For me, it's always been these three names that I'm about to mention. Ricochet being number one, Cedric Alexander being number two. Now, I'm very aware Cedric Alexander has a interview out currently with Chris Van Vliet. I haven't watched it. I understand from the title he speaks about Hurt Business. My thing with Cedric Alexander and AEW situation was that obviously all of those years ago, Tony Khan disrespected Cedric's wife, Big Swole, on Twitter. So I don't know whether Cedric joins AEW because of that, if there's a place for him. I can understand you in solidarity, you know, standing up by your missus and kind of not wanting to go there because of that disrespect. At the same time, and I don't know their financial situation to talk on, but at the same time, neither of them are working in a major promotion right now, and I'll put it that way. So it could be worth his while and the family's while. They might say, no, well, he disrespected me, but he might show you respect. He might apologize to you. He might want to give you the job to kind of bury the hatchet sort of thing. So Cedric Alexander could go there. We know the Hurt Business in WWE had so much untapped potential, just not used. The fact that when I was in Philadelphia last year at Wale Mania, I think it was either MVP. No, it was Shelton. It was either it might have been Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, because they were honoring Shelton Benjamin on the night. Shelton Benjamin said, "This is the first time the four of us, Bobby Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin himself, and Cedric Alexander, are standing in front of a live crowd." And the penny dropped for everyone in there. As much as we enjoyed the Hurt Syndicate in the pandemic, the Hurt Syndicate, or the Hurt Business in the WWE, never saw a live crowd. So yeah, it's one of them ones where Cedric Alexander was OG Hurt Business. If they slide him back in now, makes sense. It makes sense. It depends, you know, it all depends on the dynamics of the group and what they want this group to look like and stuff. But just for the nostalgia of it all, if you like, he's an option. He's definitely an option. I think the third option I've always had, and someone I want to see, and if I'm being completely honest, so I stopped watching Ring of Honor a long time ago because I don't think that they cared about the show. I expected AEW to hold it in higher reverence just because it is Ring of Honor, and they've let me down in that regard, so I stopped watching it. And I didn't know that Kevin Knight has been wrestling on that show, even for, I think it might just be a couple of weeks, but Kevin Knight's been there. Kevin Knight is my third option. Kevin Knight is my third option to join the Hurt Syndicate because he is the young upstart. He's the guy that one day could become the guy. Kevin Knight is, it's almost like a Randy Orton in Evolution sort of thing. I think there is such a high side of this guy. Came from the New Japan dojo, has had an extensive run ever since in TNA, on New Japan TV at times as well, especially Strong. I think this guy is special. Fits the bill, fits the aesthetic, can come in and just be the guy that is, the one they're gonna train up into like a singles capacity. Doesn't have to win the world title to have that kind of quote unquote trademark faction aesthetic, but I think that he could definitely be somebody that is a major player for the Hurt Syndicate. Kevin Knight, yeah, Kevin Knight for me. That could be someone that comes in and does good for them. It'll be interesting to hear, you guys' names for who should fill this last spot in the Hurt Syndicate. If he was available, he's not. He works for WWE, but if he was, I'd put Montez Ford in there in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. That one is probably more so higher up the card, World Championship ready, if he had the backing of Syndicate, but he's not. And yeah, he'll be realistic. So realistically, Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, and Kevin Knight. I think one of them are still the ones to be in Hurt Syndicate. But let me know who you guys think down below in the comments.